The volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, known as VUCA world, has definitely made it hard to anticipate the challenges that will be facing businesses in the future. With an unpredictable business landscape, super-informed customers, and super-empowered employees, the tried and tested business strategies are no longer valid for today's business challenges. The future holds challenges that are unprecedentedly different. They are known to be human challenges and so require a human-centric approach to be solved. Sustain Leadership Consultancy is a tailored solutions partner with its gaze turned toward the future. Through our SEEDS model, we focus on creating people-centric strategies that will have a lasting positive impact on the organization. We work with our clients to identify disruptive solutions to their challenges, design unique customer experiences, while creating engaging workplaces for their most valuable resource, their teams. The idea behind our approach is simple. We believe that the best and most successful businesses are both human-centered and long-sighted. After all, a business culture isn't defined by its products or services, but by the people who innovate, imagine, and create for its sake. As a networked organization, we draw upon and integrate talent of recognized leaders in their fields to customize the right team for the right project. Our portfolio of 50-plus consultants have been serving happy customers in the Middle East, Europe, and Africa for more than 15 years, working with major corporations, governmental and financial institutions, NGOs, as well as SMEs. Our promise to our clients: your teams will demonstrate stronger dynamics and will be aligned around a shared vision. Your leaders will elicit entrepreneurial activity and create a culture conducive to innovation. Your organization will achieve its aspirational strategic goals and build lasting capabilities for sustainable transformations. No matter what your industry, size, or vision, we work closely with you to help you sustain your leadership and remain relevant in an ever-changing landscape. Get in touch with us and find out how you can reinvent your business model and transform into a human-centric, sustainable organization.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining, whatever the part of the world you are joining, Sustain Leadership's today's this webinar. This is part of Sustain Leadership webinar series. The topic of today's webinar is how to tweak your goals, unleash excellence within, and how to live a balanced life. And I believe this is the perfect time to talk about living a balanced life after the COVID-19. And as we are going to start 2023, just in after a few weeks. So I believe setting up your goals, how you can achieve excellence in your life, in personal life, in professional life, and how you can live a balanced life where you can take care of yourself as well as your family member, as well as your work, and you can succeed in your life. I'm super excited for this topic, and today with me, my expert living in Dubai, based here in Dubai, is Atique Mohammed. He's the CEO and Lead Excellence Advisor. Atique is a qualified trainer, coach, and expert who has trained a lot of individual as well as to the corporate clients, how they can reach to their real potential, which God Almighty has given to all of us. So a lot more things we can talk about Atique as well as the topic, but I will prefer that these things should come directly from the speaker. So Atique, thank you so much. First of all, I welcome you on behalf of Sustain Leadership.
Adnan, thank you so much for the opportunity. It's my pleasure to be on your platform and then share knowledge with people.
This show is going to be for 25 minutes, and after 25 minutes, we will be having 5 minutes for question and answer session. In case someone is having any question in between the session, they can drop in the chat box or they can just raise their hand. I'll be more than happy to take their question, and at the end of the session, we will go through the question and answer session.
So, yeah, quickly, just 1 minute. I've been in UAE for almost 25, 26 years now, primarily from the field of quality, and then growing my career over the period with health and safety, getting involved into training and development, then working towards the business excellence. There is a model called EFQM. And then we have locally, the models are Dubai Quality Award, Sheikh Khalifa Excellence Award, and so on. So I'm primarily assessing them. I am consulting, training, and working with the business circle. I mean, COVID did really hit everybody, and the people who were like entrepreneurs, really had to sort of survive those 2 years. And alhamdulillah, so far so good. And things are moving up. And then 2023 is a lot more of a progression for everybody. And I was listening to the Dubai Eye in the morning, and the numbers of the business community are like looking growing, and they're growing day by day, even helping the aviation industry, sustainability, construction. Big Five is going on. So all these things, we recently had other expos for the automotive industry. Real good response. So yeah. So the idea of today's topic is all about ensuring that whatever we do in our life, it has some form of excellence, and then it grows us or brings us to a stage where we intend to be. So excellence within, the subject I selected was a long time back when I was working on my own goals. Since I'm from the field of business excellence, we work on those vision, mission, values, and then we set goals and plans for the organizations with strategy and all, so that they reach the targets they set for their, let's say, 5-10 years of upcoming years, and then they reach the benchmark which they intend to. So the idea was all about from there. And then when we convert it into our life, we see that life is not a dream. We feel, a lot of people, that it's a fairy tale, but it has goals, and it's a reality that needs the balance to actualize yourself and live in the present with the joy of learning and adding just the right sprinkled value for the self and others. Now, this statement summarizes the whole concept of 10 to 12 elements in life which help you grow and improve your level of excellence while you are living. People say if you are worried, you are in the past, and if you are ambitious, then you're in the future. But then if you are living, then you're in the present. So make sure that you are living a life which makes you leave the past and then move towards the growth in the future. So we'll go one by one. It all starts with the first element, which is the purpose of life. What is purpose of life? You can have hundreds of definitions. You can have hundreds of different understandings about the purpose of life. People might take it spiritually. People might take it academically. People might take it in terms of your own wealth and so on. Combining all of them, you have a potential which is endless. Go do what you were created to do. Now, it includes all the aspects of your being as a human being and your being as a person in your own sphere of time and space, in your career, your education, and whatever the aspect you want to improve basically in your life. Now, we will go down and then see how to have those different elements which create the balance. Now, looking at the aspect of you being you, how many of us actually know the word ikigai? And if you know the word ikigai means, I'll come back to this video later on. So the word ikigai is all about knowing your purpose in life, the reason for you to be where you are. A lot of times we get education which we never intended. We get the first job or the second job, which we choose that job which we never wanted. because of desperation or because of certain other circumstances, we have to opt and then take the job. And then what we do is we tend to lose that grip on our career where we actually wanted to grow, or we have the passion for. So looking at the aspect of Ikigai, there are four elements which combine, and then the combination of this plus other four other aspects will highlight the Ikigai. Some things which you love to do, things you are good at, there is a need in the space where you are, no matter where you are. It could be anywhere in the part of the any part of the world, or within the community, within the society, and then you can get paid for it also. These four aspects, if you work on them and identify those habits, things which you love to do and then you're good at, become your passion. A lot of time there are musicians, a lot of time there are artists, a lot of time there are mathematicians, and then you have got people who have a skill which is not normal, and then something what you love and there is a need can become your mission, so that you can grow your skill as well, and then you love to do. Now, if you combine the two sets of the need and where you can get paid, is something where you can grow, learn, educate yourself, gain experience, and then get paid, which is, in other terms, your vocation. Something which you have learned over the experience and you love to do as a passion, and then there is a need as well, and then you can get paid, is your profession. A lot of photographers, they start with a hobby, and I have seen many photographers starting from a hobby, sorry, and progressing as professional photographers over the period of time by doing all those photo walks, learning tools and techniques, joining professional schools and colleges, getting into the formal gears, lenses, and then all those stuff, and then they have become professional photographers. And I know a couple of them here in Dubai who came here and then started their jobs as assistants in some office, and then their passion or something which they wanted to do was photography, and then from there they have grown over the years, and now they are highly paid photographers for the events and occasions. They do expeditions in Africa and all. So it's all within you. It's just that you have to explore yourself and then find that spark and then work on that. And once you have your ikigai, you have to then start working on it now. A lot of time people think that it's only work. You basically get educated, you get your college diploma or business degree or whatever the education you qualify as a graduate. Then you look for a job, you get a job, or once you get the job, then you start working 8 to 5, and that's your life. Then you have to make money, you have to make savings, get married, blah blah blah, and so on. The unfortunate thing is you lose life in that. I personally have experienced, and I have seen many people who are getting indulged and involved into the professional life or the working life. I wouldn't call it professional. Why? Because professional again is something where you have the passion. But then I know uh, the people I'm referring are, they're just working because they need to make money, and they just work as a work. They don't have passion behind that job or behind that work, so they don't enjoy. So now just make a living that you never make losing your life. Keep the working part and living part in a balance where you enjoy your life, and then where you have enough for you to enjoy it and live together. So we'll explain in detail when we if we have another time, because this is something which needs elaboration, which needs discussions, which needs different aspects to be covered. But quickly, I'll just go in and then discuss about these 8 aspects. There are different needs for our life to be balanced. We have our physical needs, it's all about health and fitness. You have your spiritual needs, which is, of course, everybody follows some sort of religion, and spiritual understanding is very important. We are living in a society, and when we have to have those social skills to basically communicate with people, to understand the living, and then be in a environment where we are fruitful or beneficial for others. Financial aspect, where we look into the financial stability, we want to have some kind of financial plans, savings, or earnings in a way that we sustain our life on a longer run. When you talk about community, community is all around us, where we sometimes do not belong. Now, most of us are here expats. Now, when we talk about expats, our social setup is different from the community where we are living now. So we have to have that balance also created between the community where we are serving, where we are living, or where, and the social setup where we belong. So there has to be some sort of harmony in that. Family is very, very important for everybody. A lot of time, who the people who are working professionals, they are working from 8 to 5 and sometimes 8 to 9. What happens is they lose that importance of family back home, because for them, what they are earning is for the family, and the family, when they need the person who is responsible for their well-being is not available. So that disconnect, emotional disconnect, disturbs the whole balance in your life. Mental balance, very essential, in a sense that if it's all about emotional, let's say, balance in your life, controlling your emotions and utilizing them in a way that they benefit you rather than they harm your productivity. Stress factor is quite high these days. A lot of organizations, bigger organizations or multinationals, are working on stress management. They have coaches, they have stress relievers assigned in the organization, so that people perform better, because if they are in the stress, then the performance also definitely affects during the work time. Now, the last but not the least, the professionalism. Professionalism is all about whatever the career you have opted, irrespective of which segment of, let's say, professionalism. Either you are into hospitality, or into construction, or you are into automotives, or you are at a you are at different levels in the organization. Every level has its importance, and every level has its essence when you are performing in the organization. So there is very thin line between knowing the importance of your contribution as a professional in the organization, at what level, and having those expectations of being at the top in the management. So this actually uh, creates the disbalance, that there are greater ambitions, but then your professional capacity or capability probably does not allow the organization to have benefit from you. So this is again another aspect where we discuss, and then we understand based on the ability and the capacity of the person. So once we work around all these 8 elements of, these are not limited to, they are like, there could be other elements as well, and then there are, when we go into details, depending on the case to case scenario sometimes. So minimum these basic 8 elements, which do create a balance in your life. How we will just, I'll just show you a diagram here. It's like a sphere, or like a wheel, and if you see that we have all those 8 different aspects of it. And then, if, let's say, for example, I take I'm showing an example of one of my students, who I was working recently. he rated himself. Now, initially when he rated himself, this is how it looked like. Now, if I look at it, there is no way that this diagram in blue would roll like a wheel. It will always have hindrance, it will always have stoppages, and it will never work or never move or roll smoothly. Consider this your life. And if you have this type of balance or something similar to this, I mean, in different areas with different numbers, and you are trying to balance your life to live happily and then have the growth factor in your life, I'm sure you'll find a lot of difficulties, because every step of the way, when you move yourself, you will find something stopping you or creating obstacles for you. So when we work on the balance in life or working on the wheel of life, we work around all these aspects and then see what is missing. Excuse me. Need not to be that you have to be good in everything. Need not to be that you have to be lower in everything. It's where you have to create a balance. Sometimes you are very good in certain aspects of life where you do not need to concentrate, or you do not need to basically emphasize. But then there are other areas in your life where you can put the emphasis or work around those areas and then raise your standards. And once you raise those standards, they will automatically create the balance on the other side of it. So that's the idea of working on the wheel of life and then creating a balance within you. I'll go back to that video, if you can. Yeah. Now, Adnan, you have to tell me if you can hear the voice. Okay.
So, what is your vision?
Money.
I mean, what is your plan for the future?
Money.
Like, what is that thing that you want to achieve in life?
Money. Money.
Like, what is your real essence on earth?
Money.
Listen, let's keep the money aside. What else are you focused on?
The money that you get aside.
So, well, if you have concentration on your goals in a way that it's only money and that's it, there is nothing else in your life, then you end up basically nowhere in life. Why? Because money is not everything. Yes, it is a necessity, but then it does not mean that that's everything. In life, there are other aspects. There is learning, there is growth, there is family, there is society, there is education, and all those aspects add those different elements in your life, which help you grow and then raise your excellence levels. Setting goals, a lot of people have many goals or very huge or large goals. There's no harm in that. What we recommend is break them into smaller goals or break them into smaller intervals. Now I'll give you a little example when I go further down. And remember, always keep your end in mind before you start anything in your life. Even in your education, I mean, if I go to certain societies or certain communities, it's the basic of every parent is to give enough education for them to secure a job and then earn money and live life on their own. So that's what generally people have the education for. In my personal opinion and experience, education has got nothing to do with your professional earning career. And if you are depending on that, then many of the people are at loss. That is the reason being you don't see many professionals growing in their careers, because they have not set those goals of their education in life based on certain purpose in life, or based on certain objectives they have set earlier. Up to high school, I can understand you're dependent, but I think post high school or beyond high school, everyone must know why and what course of education they're adopting, and then where do they want to uh, reach in their life in next 15, 20 years, 25 years, if you want to do masters or leave at masters or do the PhD and all. So everybody must know about their education and the goals they should set is for the education. Quickly, your goals have to be something which you can measure, and they have to be connected with your ambitions, something to do with your work. They have to have a plan, action plan. They have to have a review plan, schedule, and they must be realistic. And you must continuously follow them. Earlier, they used to refer to a term called SMART goals. And recently, I've seen somewhere smarter, specific, measurable, agreed, realistic, time bound, ethical, and recorded. The smarter part at the end, ethical, being ethical is very important. I have personally experienced and then seen many people setting those goals which are good for them, but eventually they do not have those ethical aspects or considerations when it comes to society or the people around them. So have to be very, very careful that we do not harm anybody else, and then we record them in a way that we can measure them and we can analyze them. How we do that? It's very simple. When you are making your goals, just make sure that you have the bigger picture in your mind, and then you know why are you setting this, what is the foundation of setting your goals. And once you have done that, then you break them into different in let's say time period. It could be, you can have short term, you can have mid term, you can have long term, or you can have all in one stretch, and then break them into 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, or how it suits you. The idea is just to put them in a matrix that you can measure those goals, and you can see the progress what you do. Let me finish that. The progress you can follow. Some people do break them into the quarter level as well, and then monitor the performance. And then one more important thing what you should know is that prioritization of your goals is very important. Sometimes there are certain goals which are immediate and short term, but then probably they might not be the priority. However, doesn't mean that you should not attend them. But then if something which is important and which has priority, I think that is where you should put your efforts and concentration. And then when you are setting your goals, there is one more thing you should know. You cannot achieve your goals until and unless you change something. Now that change could be in your habits, that change could be in avoiding or knowing the distractions in your life, or in the path of your success, and not knowing that what would happen if I don't do this. So you should know that risk element as well, that if you do not achieve this goal, what is it that you will not have, or you will miss, or eventually you will end up losing. So it's one aspect of setting goals, that you should know the rationale. You should know what habits that you need to change, to adjust, so that you can achieve your goals, and then what are the things which you distract. now, while you're setting your goals, always remember to do a SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis is very important. I believe everybody knows about the SWOT analysis. Why I wanted to mention here is because sometimes we just end up doing SWOT analysis from our own perspective, our own understanding. Let's consider that you are one, let's say, element or entity in this whole puzzle, and then there are other elements in this puzzle around you. Try to do SWOT from every aspect of everyone, or a stakeholder in your life, like your family, like your colleagues, like here the organization you're working for, your friends, your peers. So think of yourself as one person who has many stakeholders, and every stakeholders thinks or does SWOT on you, and then their SWOT is different from what SWOT you do of your own. And then try to layer that up and then see where are the commonalities. Sometimes your opportunities could be weaknesses on their side or threats on their side. Sometimes your strengths could be opportunities for them and threats for you. So it's just that when we do all that and then we layer it up on top of each other, 10, 15 levels of SWOT will give you something which is more concrete and meaningful. And that helps. And never forget that we all grow at different rates. Everybody has their own capacity, everybody has their own capability, everybody has their own strengths, and not everybody will can be Messi, or not everybody can be Ronaldo. Football season is on, so it just came to my mind. So there are 11 people in the team, and then it's the team that wins eventually. So everybody has their own strengths and also, but being unique, being having the ability is something added advantage. Doesn't mean that they are the better ones or the best ones. We all are equally good in our own aspect and then perspective as well. Value in life: be somebody nobody thought that you could be. Every day, every hour, or every conversation you have, every meeting you have, every person you interact with in the mall, pass on something which is valuable to them, even if it is just a smile. My lesson in life is just do what you can, and then it'll always come back to you. And that's what karma is. So being what nobody thought you could be will always add value into somebody else's life and yours as well. This is nothing. Let's skip that. I think it's almost 35 minutes now. So I'll stop it here. If this is worth your time, you can basically, I think, Adnan, you can open the question answers. Now remember, this is just a quick brief. This whole thing is there are 10 elements altogether, 11 elements which I sort of work on individual basis and in a workshop as well. So Adnan wanted to have a session today. I said, okay, I'm more than happy to share some knowledge which will definitely add value to people in the channel. So back to you, Adnan. You can open questions if somebody wants to.
Thank you so much, Atique, for
We'll
this
just
wonderful session. I personally enjoyed it. And let's see in next 2 minutes if any question we are getting from the audience. In the chat section, I'm not seeing any question is there, but now or later as the session will be available definitely on our YouTube channel of Sustain Leadership. People can go there, they can drop question in the comment, and certainly myself or Atique will be able to answer those questions. So please raise your hand if anyone is having any question related to how to set your goals, how to live a balanced life, how to unleash your excellence.
And they can always come back through the channel they connected. I mean, I've posted in some, let's say, WhatsApp groups and Facebook, and also they can always come back and then ask questions on those platforms as well. But from there, they can message us directly as well.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking out your time to join Sustain Leadership's this webinar series and today's important session, which is rightly in time before we enter to next year. Thank you so much, Atique, for your effort. I can understand that you are unwell, but still I appreciate your time and the wealth of knowledge you shared with our audience.
Thank you very much, and I really, really loved it. Thank you.
The recording of the session will be available on Sustain Leadership. Everyone who registered with us, they will be able to receive email from us with the link, or you can simply follow on our YouTube channel, Sustain Leadership. Please feel free. You can reach out to Atique Muhammad in case you are having any personal question, you want to get one-on-one coaching, or you want to discuss any personal or professional goals. You can follow him on LinkedIn, Instagram, and he'll be more than happy to assist you. Appreciated everyone's time. I wish you all a wonderful evening, afternoon, or good night. So we will see you in next webinar after 2 weeks.